And I'm not saying that this is how everybody who has SSA is, but this is how I am, and I'm thinking that because I'm like this, certainly there are other people out there who can relate and are the same way. So, this is what I thought. Whenever I'm tempted homosexually, either to fantasize about men or to lust after them or whatever, generally when I think of the other man, I don't think of him as a spiritual being. I think of him as an emotional person, an emotional being, one who is willing to give himself emotionally to me, but also very physical. Who doesn't like a hot body? So then I thought of women, and when I think of women and am tempted by them, or think of having a future wife one day or something like that, I always think of them, especially when I think of my future wife, as being intensely spiritual. I need my wife, my future wife, to be a spiritual woman. One who acknowledges the spiritual realm and knows of her love and dependence on God for all things. I find that very attractive. I think that's just damn sexy. And I need that in a woman, because there's something deep there. There's something very deep there that rings true in my life, that kind of hits that chord in my soul, Because I have that deep spiritual aspect of me too, and I need a woman who has that as well. But when I'm tempted by men, it's surface level, it's superficial, it's emotional, and emotions can run very deep, and I understand that. But when I think of possibly having a future boyfriend, if that is ever a temptation, if I ever do give into that, I don't think of him as being a spiritual person. You see the difference? I don't really care if he loves God. I don't really care if he acknowledges the spiritual realm or not. As long as he's there for me and he makes me feel good and he looks good, that's all that matters to my temptation. Do you see the difference there? Now, I'm not saying that all homosexual people are like this, but I'm saying that this is how I am. This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm realizing about myself. So, my temptation toward homosexuality is a very selfish one. I'm realizing that even more now than ever. Because what I want in a homosexual relationship is somebody who's there for me, to make me feel good, to make me feel better about myself, and to be there for my pleasure, both physical and emotional pleasure. It's all about me. And that's not good, that's not healthy, that's not what a relationship should be about. But if that's all I want in a homosexual relationship, then homosexuality is not healthy for me. And if other people want that out of a homosexual relationship, then homosexuality is not healthy for them either. Because that's not how relationships should be based. It's not what they should be based on. It should not be based on personal, selfish fulfillment. But when I think about my future wife, I think, I pray for her. I pray for her even now to be prepared. That God would prepare her for me, and that God would set her aside and keep her pure and keep her safe and take care of her. And I want that for her sake. Not so much for mine, but for her sake. I want my wife to be happy. I want her to be fulfilled. Above all things, I want her to be fulfilled in Christ, to know who she is, because that's very important. And I realize tonight that that's a much healthier way of going about a relationship. is the way that I see a heterosexual relationship. It's me caring about the other person more so than I care about myself. So heterosexuality for me is much healthier in this aspect, in this respect. So I just thought that was an interesting observation, and I hope that other people understand where I'm coming from. And I hope that you can relate too. I think that there's a lot more to this that I need to pray about and figure out and allow God to speak to me on. But I'm excited about this new revelation. So enjoy and be blessed and take care, and I love you.